I've got a special guest that go by the name of Newcomer. Hello.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, I like the voice. Hey, listen, yeah. Obviously, I was talking to you out there, yeah. But I don't know why, but every time I put the guest in front of a mic, the voice just sounds sweet. Your voice is sounding very, very nice.
Well, thank you.
It's all right. You definitely got a radio voice. I can tell you that for free.
I will bear that in mind.
Yeah, so how are you?
I'm good. And how are you?
I'm fine, you know. How did you find the journey here?
Yeah, it was short because I thought, oh my God, I might be late, but then it was cool.
Yeah. Listen, it gets like that, especially because of the rush hour in the morning.
Yep.
It really, really gets like that. So I invited you in because I got an email about you guys a few weeks ago, and I really, really, really like the concept. So I thought that it was only right that I bring you guys in so that you can let the listeners know as well.
Very nice.
So would you like to explain to them who you are, what you guys do?
Yes. So, hi, I'm Natalie Nah, and I'm one of 2 co-founders of Newcomer. So, simply put, Newcomer is a social media platform for local and diaspora African creatives to connect, create, learn, and earn.
All right, then. So, I went through your page.
Yeah.
And the best way I could describe it was like LinkedIn meets Fiverr.
Literally.
Is that it?
Literally, yeah.
See, listen, I'm on my game.
Exactly that, yeah.
So,
yeah.
what made you guys do that? Because I know it's you and another
Nigel,
founder.
yeah.
So what made you guys think, rah, today's the day that I create Newcomer? Well, it's not really something that people just wake up and decide to do. So what?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Because this is actually like almost 8 years in the making, because Nigel and I, we went to the same high school. We ended up going to the same uni as well. But back in high school in like 2013, we were always the photographers and videographers at all the events and stuff. So naturally, we were both quite interested in the same things. And even then, we were always talking about how like we wanted to do something for African creatives, because the high school that we went to, ironically enough, it's one of the few in Africa on the continent where you actually have everyone from the continent in that school. So it's called SOS, and you could be in a class with Nigerians, Tanzanians, South Africans, etc. So we had we didn't just know the Pan-African theory, we lived the Pan-African theory for 4 years.
Okay.
So naturally, we wanted to do something that fell in line with that. And I guess another reason why we ended up going to this was Nigel did his in 2012 and me in 2013, but did this like 4-day course at the London School of Photography. And living in Ghana then, we knew that this course was so sick. It was like 4 days, but it was so intensive, and there are tips that we learned then that I'm still using now. And we're like, we want to have more stuff like this for people back home in Ghana, but then also people across the continent and across the diaspora as well.
Okay, so then was you guys living in Ghana and then came over to London?
So it's actually the opposite for Nigel and I. So for me, I was born here, but grew up in Ghana, but then moved here for uni. But Nigel was born in Ghana, grew up here, and then moved back to Ghana, then moved back here for uni. So we kind of have, so he has more of an idea of what it's like to grow up in London. I have more of an idea of what it's like to grow up in Accra, Ghana.
Okay, so what is the biggest difference between here and Ghana for you?
It's naturally, because we're the minority here,
Yeah.
we have to push certain narratives a bit harder. Whereas back home, you don't have to do that as much because everyone is like on the same cultural wavelength. So I would say that's the main difference, like having to fight more to show who I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be the main difference.
What has been the most difficult thing that you guys have had to go through trying to get Newcomer out there?
I would say one, that was actually the first hurdle. It was like truly understanding what we're here to do, because I think naturally that's the main thing, and who we're doing it for. Because even with being very particular about how we refer to our audience, we say local and diaspora and African creators as opposed to black creators. Of course, all black creators are welcome to Newcomer, but we realized that usually when we say black creatives, we think of African Americans, we think of black British people, we think of people across the diaspora before we think of Africans living and working locally on the continent. And although we're catering to all of these parties, we found that a lot of organizations that target black people in general tend to put local Africans on the back burner. Okay. And our whole mission is to do the same thing, but to push local Africans more to the forefront, but then obviously still paying attention to everyone else at the same time.
So if someone that isn't African wanted to help or get involved, how can they?
So you can sign up to our waitlist at new-comma.com, and once you eventually get an invite code to come on the site, you can interact with everyone, you can mentor them, you can hire them, you can gather them for focus groups, you can basically do anything that furthers the narrative that local and diaspora and African creatives are capable of telling their own stories and sharing those stories at the same time.
Sick. Now what I'm gonna do right now, stay right there, is play this tune by Burna Boy, Kilometer, because I just feel like the energy right now is sky high, so it's only right that I play this rhythm. Let's go. Represent Radio 7, 107.3 FM. Look at me, I'm all stumbling. Listen, the energy is sky high. I promise you that for free. Since we're on the Afrobeat vibe, I feel like it's only right that I ask you this question. Like, we've seen the Western world start to embrace African genres like Afrobeats and Amapiano. What effect do you think this will have on creatives and African countries?
I think it's one, inspiring and empowering them to know that their voices, their work, their sentiments, their culture, all of that is valid. It was valid before, but I think now, obviously, everyone likes to get a bit of attention. Everyone likes to know that, okay, these people are feeling me, kind of thing. So I think it's definitely going to do a lot in terms of ensuring that we're trying even harder to push ourselves forward in a way that we can control, because I think that's the key thing.
Okay, so you said that you started this concept about 8 years ago?
Yeah.
So what do you wish you knew when you started that you know now?
I wish I had known that we could have started actioning things a lot sooner, because I think like we said, it always been in conversations like, what if we did XYZ, what if we did XYZ, and it was a manner of, we don't have all the resources to start. But especially now with like social media and everything, it's even easier to start building communities. With communities, you don't always need like $100,000-$200,000 to get something started. Community is all about the people, it's all about the connections, and you can start that with anything. And that's what's been really helpful for us, like organically trying to reach out to the people that align with our mission and values.
Okay, so we have a lot of creatives that listen into our show. What advice would you give to them to those that are trying to get into the creative field?
This is going to sound so basic, but being yourself, literally. And I say that because specifically in the creative industry, what we do is literally an extension of ourselves. And I always say that in truly taking the time to understand who you are and what it is you want to put into the world, no matter what discipline you fall into, if it's music, art, being a sculptor, anything, that's still an extension of yourself. So once you crack that, I mean, we never really crack that 100%, but once you get like a fair understanding, you can go on.
All right, 2 more questions before you go. First one is, if you could describe newcomer in 3 words, what would it be?
Pan-African, youthful, vibrant.
Ooh, I like that one, vibrant.
Yep.
So the last one, this one's a deeper one, you know. Are you ready for it?
Well, no choice.
All right, the question is, if someone was to ask you why push creatives from the African and not all creatives, what would your response be to them?
Why to push African creatives and not all creatives?
Yes.
Well, technically, we aren't pushing African creatives to ignore everyone else, right? We're not saying that African creatives should only work with African creatives, and that's why with Newcomer we're inviting everyone of all ethnicities to interact with the African creatives. So our main thing is just like putting everyone of one kind in one place, but then it's for everyone to interact with them. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's one or the other, but then obviously we need to do a bit more work in pushing African creatives to the forefront, since they've kind of been on the back burner for a while.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
as well.
in. Can you let them guys listening know where they can find you, what's the best place to get Newcomer at, and if they wanted to get involved, if they wanted to sign up, what's the best thing to do?
Cool. So firstly, sign up on our waitlist at newcomer.com. So that's new-comma.com. And you can find us on Instagram. That's new.comma. And then on Twitter at new__comma.
Come on. Thank you so much for coming in. Guys, you already heard what she said. Make sure you check them out. Newcomer. You know I'm only plugging you guys with the best things that is out here for you to better our life on this earth. You already know what time it is. Represent Radio 107.3 FM. And that was my levels, my final round, my game over. They just took over the whole thing because it was so sick.